those picture cards in front of you? Page 70 and 71, Kaden, that's not necessary. You can just do it quietly. I don't need your comments. And I'm going to do the vocabulary words out of order again today, just so we can remember them in a bunch of different ways. I'll shuffle them up a little bit here. Okay. Pages 70 and 71 for a vocabulary. All right, our first vocabulary word today is going to be the word mammals. Oh, I like to start with that one. It's number 3, page 71 in your book. Mammals. What are mammals? I'm going to call on a friend at home today. Mackenzie, what can you tell me about mammals? What are the 3 things that we can remember about mammals? You'll have to unmute your iPad. What are 3 things we can remember about mammals? What's one?
Mammals are little. Mammals are little animals.
Well, we're mammals though too. We're not animals. What do mammals have inside their bodies that help keep them nice and warm? They have what, Mackenzie? What kind of blood? What kind of blood do they have, Mackenzie? Warm blood or cold blood?
Warm.
Okay, they have warm blood. What do they have in their backs to help keep them straight?
Fur.
Well, they have, their bodies are covered in fur or hair. That's 2 things. But what do they have in their backs to help keep them straight?
Spines.
They have spines or backbones. Very good. So mammals have warm blood. They have a spine or a backbone, and their bodies are fur or hair. Because we're mammals, we're not covered in fur, but we do have hair, okay? All right, my next vocabulary word is choose. Number 6 in our book on page 71. Jake, what does choose mean?
This was hilarious, by the way. Something like grind something like.
Yeah, use your teeth to grind or crush something up, like some food or something else. Crunch, 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 crunch. Very good. All right, we have a coat. An animal's coat. In this case, the fox's coat helps keep it warm. Number 8, page 71. Kinsley, can you tell me what a coat is when it comes to an animal?
A coat that's like thick and it keeps its body warm.
Yeah.
So a fur.
Fur, very good. The fur is the coat when it comes to an animal. Coat's also a multiple meaning word. It can also be that piece of clothing that we put on. Like my hoodie that I have on right now, I could use it like a coat. It's a piece of clothing that I put on my body to keep my body warm because I do not have fur all over my body. Thank goodness for that. So I wonder if it would be nice and warm in the winter. All right, what about clipped? Ooh, this is a tricky one because this could be a multiple meaning word. Yanessa, would you like to give me one vocabulary definition of clipped? What does it mean in our story if we clip on a leash? What are we doing?
Clipping it onto the collar.
Yeah, how are we clipping it on? What are we doing when we clip it on? If we're clipping it on, what are we actually doing? I'm going to call on a friend in the classroom and see if they can tell me. What are we doing if we're clipping it on, Jamie? We're doing what? We are clipping it. What's another word that I want to use, Angelina?
Hooking.
Right, we're hooking it on, okay? So when you clip something, you're hooking it on with a clip, okay? So in this case, in our story Dogs, we're talking about hooking on the leash using the clip. But sometimes the word clipped can also mean to get your hair cut or to cut something, okay? Like I clip a little piece of paper off of the edge of my paper, or I clip my bangs when they get in my eyes, okay? It can mean 2 different things. All right, vocabulary word number 5, page 71. If something is canned, what does that mean, Derek? Right, if it's canned, what does that mean? It's what? Not necessarily warm.
Oh.
If I have canned dog food, what does that mean? Let's see if Logan can tell us, and then you're going to tell me what Logan says, okay?
If you have canned dog food, it means you put it in. It's put in. It has been put in a can.
Yeah, it's been put in a can. So what does canned mean, Derek? Right, we put something in a can. Why do we put it in a can? Lonnie, can you tell me why we put something in a can? Like dog food or vegetables or something?
Keep it nice and fresh.
Yeah, to keep it nice and fresh. Fantastic. I like that answer, Lonnie. Nice job. Okay. Another vocabulary word is a litter, number 3 on page 71 in your book. If we have a litter of puppies like we do in this picture, Zayden, what's that mean?
It means they were all born at the same time.
Okay, who was born at the same time?
All the little puppies.
All the little puppies. And puppies are what?
Litters.
They are a litter, but what are puppies?
Oh. They're dogs.
What kind of dogs? You're getting there. Teenage dogs? Grown-up dogs? What kind of dogs are they?
Kids.
Baby dogs, right? Okay. So a litter is babies born to one mom all at the same time. Very good. Usually just animals. Well, I don't know of any human that's had a litter per se, but anyways, hairy. So our next vocabulary word, I like this dog in this picture, though I would not want to have this hairy dog because I would have to brush his fur a lot.
Yeah.
If he's really, really hairy, Jose, what does that mean?
You have a lot of hair.
Yeah, a lot of hair, or in this case, a lot of fur, right? I do not want to have to brush that dog's fur. And last but not least, we have the word stayed. This dog stayed at my cousin's house while I went on vacation. If it stayed, what does that mean, Alina?
It means like they stayed somewhere.
What does that mean if they stayed somewhere?
They like visit somebody or they stayed there for a long time.
They visited or lived with somebody for a little while. It could be a day, it could be a couple hours, it could be weeks, whatever. Yep, very good. Okay. So let's turn to 74 and 75 so we can read through dogs real quick. So it's in our brains. Remember, dogs is an informational text, pages 74 and 75 in your book. Pages 74 and 75 in your book. Dogs is an informational text, which means it has lots of information, lots of facts. It's a true story because everything you read in informational text is true and real. So you have a lot of details, a lot of facts. Plus we have photographs because remember the author likes us to see the real thing when we're reading about real things in our stories. And then we have those headings at the top of the page. Why do we have headings at the top of the page? What's the job of the headings, Gwen, at the top of the page?
To tell you like what the topic is of what you're going to be reading about on just this little.
Fantastic, Gwen. That was a great answer. Yeah, to tell us what's going to be, what we're reading about on that page or maybe the next 2 pages or something. So it's like a little title to tell you what you're going to be reading about. Also, too, when you get older and you have to do research papers and things like that, headings can help you find just the information you're looking for so you don't have to read a huge, thick book to find what you're looking for, okay? Derek, you need to sit up, please. All right, and we will talk today a little bit. What do you think pets need to be healthy and happy? We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the story. All right, here's our story, dogs. Our heading at the top of page 76 says, what kind of pet is this? And we already know that this is a dog, right? Pets are animals that live with us. Some pets are small and have feathers. My pet is big and hairy. Can you guess what kind of pet this is? And we already guessed that it was a dog.
It's a dog.
Do you think that makes it more interesting to start the story that way?
Yeah.
To kind of have to guess what it is in the picture? Yeah, I think that really makes it a lot more interesting to do that. Okay. What are dogs? Dogs are mammals. Mammals make milk for their babies. Dogs are cousins of wolves and coyotes. Most dogs live with people as pets. Where did my dog come from? A mother dog had a litter of puppies. At first, the puppies could not see. The puppies stayed with their mother for 8 weeks. Then I took a puppy home. How big is my dog? At first, my dog was as small as a cat. It weighed as much as a big bag of sugar. Now my puppy is a dog. It weighs as much as a bicycle. Where does my dog live? My dog lives in the house with us. It sleeps on a special dog bed. Sometimes my dog sleeps in my room. It may even sleep on my bed. Probably why the author showed that picture with the dog's face peeking out next to somebody's toes, so you could see that it's okay to sleep with your dog if you want to. What does my dog eat? My dog eats canned dog food. Sometimes my dog eats dry dog food. My dog chews special bones too. Chewing the bones helps keep its teeth strong and clean. What else does my dog need? My dog needs a collar and a name tag. These can help me find it if it gets lost. My dog needs a leash too. The leash is clipped to the collar so my dog can go for a walk. What can I do for my dog? I play with my dog every day. Playing is good exercise for dogs. I brush my dog with a special brush. This keeps its coat clean and smooth. What can my dog do? My dog can play fetch. When I throw a ball, it brings it back. My dog can help at home. It can bring in the newspaper. And I think that's the end of that story. Yep. Okay, so let me go back to the beginning real quick and let me ask our essential question again. Let's see if we can come up with some answers for our essential question. We've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks, what do pets need to be healthy and happy? So let's talk about that. What do you think pets need? And it doesn't just have to be dogs. It could be any kind of pet. What do you think a pet might need to be healthy and happy? Alina, can you tell me one thing?
Like water and food.
Okay, water. So actually tell me one thing, water. Okay. What else, Lonnie, would a pet need?
Exercise means that you're doing like keeping your body in shape.
Yeah, so they would need some exercise, right? What else does your pet need to be healthy and happy, Angelina?
You would need to brush its fur.
So keep it clean, okay? Yanessa, what else does your pet need to be healthy and happy?
Toys.
Some toys maybe to help play with it, to exercise it, right? What else, Nathan, does your pet need?
Collars.
A collar with what on it? So that we can tell who, well, not necessarily a leash, but on the collar we have to be able to tell who the dog is. What can we put on that collar?
Name tag.
A name tag, yeah. So we have a collar with a name tag so we can tell who the dog is. We need some toys to help it be happy and get some exercise. We've got to keep it clean. We've got to give it water. What else might our pet need, Jamie?
Canned food.
Some food. It can be canned food, and maybe it's dry food. Or maybe sometimes food comes in little pouches, depending on what kind of pet you have, what size pet you have. Gwen, what else could your pet need?
A timeout crate if they're being bad.
Oh, a timeout crate. Ah. I have a feeling that you probably know about the timeout crate with your dog. Because you referred to it as a timeout crate and not just a crate. Yes. So maybe your dog might need a little space to kind of go take a little personal break for a minute or two if they're not following the directions very well. Possibly. That might happen. What do you think, Angelina? What else?
It needs a bone to chew on so its teeth are healthy.
Yeah, most animals, not necessarily cats though, but most animals like dogs, gerbils, hamsters, rabbits, any of those kinds of pets, they actually need to chew something a little bit. Dogs especially chew because it helps keep their teeth clean. Because we can't brush, well, you can try to brush their teeth, but you don't want to try to brush their teeth. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Did you try before?
I have tried before, yes. I still have my hands, I'm proud to say, but the toothbrush is gone. So I'm not going to try that again. That was not a fun experience. And that was with my really, 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 really good dog, not the two crazy loonies I have right now. So I figured if the really, really good dog was not going to let me brush her teeth, I wasn't going to try any of the other ones. Okay, so there's lots of things that our pets need. The things that our pets need to be healthy and happy are kind of like what we need too, right? Food and water, exercise, toys. We don't necessarily need to wear a collar with a name tag, but a nice warm place to sleep, a warm place to stay, maybe a timeout location. You never know. We might need some of those things too. Maybe we need to just find a place where we can take a break and get away from things and think about stuff if something's bothering us. So pets and people are kind of the same when it comes to staying healthy and happy. All right. I'm going to close this out real quick. You can put your hard reading book away. We're not going to use it for the rest of this class. And I want to bring up some quick review or some of our activities that we're going to do before I send us on our merry way for our seesaw activities. Because a lot of what we're going to do today is just really in seesaw. Okay, so we have two sounds of C. C makes two sounds. It makes the hard sound like the letter K. C makes the soft sound like the letter S. What letters am I going to have besides C right after the letter C to make the soft sound? There's three letters that I want to look for. Jamie, can you tell me one of those letters? E is one of them. Yep. Oh, that's light blue. Let me erase that. I like the light blue, but I also know that it's really hard to see on the screen. So I'll make a darker color once I get my pencil here. Okay. E is one of the letters. What's another letter that makes C have the soft sound? Alina?
I.
I is another letter. And what's another letter that makes E have the soft sound? Tim?
It rhymes with the I, but it's a Y.
It's a Y. Very good. It does rhyme with I. You're right. Okay. So, let me put a word up here. And let's see if we can decide if it's going to be a hard C or a soft C. Let me start with this word. I'm not going to say the word out loud, but I know it's a word that you're going to be able to read because you can read consonant, vowel, consonant words. Anybody want to give a try what that word is? Lonnie, you want to try that word? What is it? Cub. Is cub going to be a hard C or a soft C? What do you think, Lonnie?
Hard C.
It is a hard C. Very good. Cub makes the sound. So it is a hard C. All right. Let me erase that real quick. Let me make my fat eraser. Fat eraser erases a lot more quickly. Woo, I like the fat eraser. All right, here we go. Let me put another word up here that I know you can read. One of my favorite things in the world. Anybody want to give that one a try? Yanessa, what's that word, sweetie? Cake. Is cake a hard C or a soft C, Yanessa?
Hard C.
It is a hard C. Cake. Mmm. Cake. Carrot cake. Mmm. White cake with buttercream icing. Strawberry cake. Oh, yes. I love strawberry cake with chocolate icing.
I like chocolate.
Peanut butter cake or chocolate cake with peanut butter icing. Okay, now I'm hungry. I should have eaten some breakfast. All right, let me put another word up here. What about this word? Anybody want to give that one a try? Ooh, Jamie, your hand went right up. What do you think this one is? Nice and loud, honey. Oh, let's try that again because if we see an E, I, or Y right next to it, it's going to be the soft sound. It is cell with a soft C, okay? Because there is an E, I, or a Y right next to it, just like a cell phone. All right. What about this one? What's that word? Looks a lot like the one I just put up there. It's not quite exactly the same. You want to give that one a try, Kaden? Call. Hard or soft C?
Hard.
Hard C. Very good. C-A-L-L is a hard C. All right. Let me try another one. This time, I'm going to stick the C in the middle of the word. Maybe? There we go. What about that word? Alina.
Race.
Race. Hard or soft?
Soft.
Soft C. And I'll do one more. Boo, 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 boo. Let me try to think of one more word. What's that one? Logan.
Corn.
Corn. Hard or soft?
Hard.
Hard. Very good. Corn is a hard C. Okay. Fantastic. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about types of sentences. We have talked about 4 types of sentences. We have talked about statements, which tell us something. Bless you. We have talked about questions, which ask us something. We have talked about exclamations, which show feeling or excitement or fear, okay, but it shows feelings. And we have talked about commands, telling you to do something in like a firm way, hopefully not in a yelling voice. Okay, so let's decide, first of all, if our sentence is telling us something, asking us something, showing some excitement, or if it's commanding us or telling us to do something. And then let's decide if we're going to put a period, a question mark, an exclamation point at the end. Okay? Does anybody want to try to read the first sentence for us? I think I made all of our sentences, for the most part, sentences that we could read. Zeta, would you like to try the first one?
This is our classroom.
Very good. This is our classroom. Is that a telling sentence, an asking sentence, an exclamation, a command? What do you think?
A telling.
Yeah, it's a telling sentence. It's just telling you, this is our classroom. So what should I put at the end of that sentence, Zayden?
A period.
A period. Fantastic. There we go. Just a dot like that. All right. What about my second sentence? Lonnie, do you want to give that one a try?
Yep, that spider scared me.
Right. That spider scared me. What kind of sentence do you think that is? Do you think it's a telling sentence, Lonnie, an asking sentence, or an exclamation?
It's telling something.
It is telling me something, but usually when something scares me, how do you think I'm going to say it?
It's like,
Yeah.
Spider scared me.
Exactly. So if I'm saying, that spider scared me, am I just going to kind of say, that spider scared me? Am I just going to tell you? Or am I going to exclaim it?
You're going to like exclaim.
Yeah, I'm going to exclaim it. So what should I have at the end then, Lonnie?
An exclamation point.
An exclamation point. Fantastic. Or an exclamation mark, depending on what you call it. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. I call it an exclamation point. What about the third sentence? Anybody want to give that one a try, Jose?
Where did he go?
Where did he go? What kind of sentence is that? Telling, asking, or exclamation? Derek, it really would help for you to be paying attention up here. Okay. What is it telling you?
Where did he go?
Did it tell you he went somewhere? No, it's not telling you something. Is it showing a lot of excitement or feeling?
No.
So it's not an exclamation, so it must be doing what? Telling, asking, or exclamation?
Telling?
It's asking you. It has an asking word, a question word right at the beginning. When we see those WH words at the beginning of our sentences, like who, what, where, why, how, when. How is not WH, just H, but then it's an asking sentence. Where did he go? It's asking you. Where did he go? So what should I have at the end of that sentence, Jose? A question mark, which kind of looks like a candy cane upside down with a dot, or a J upside down with a dot. Last but not least, Angelina, do you want to read that last sentence for me?
Put your pencils away.
Put your pencils away. What kind of sentence?
Period?
It would have a period, but what kind of sentence is it? Is it a telling sentence, an asking sentence, or a command sentence?
Telling.
Not quite telling.
Command.
It is a command. Now, because I'm not saying it with a lot of excitement, I'm not saying, put your pencils away.
Put your pencils.
I don't have to put an exclamation point at the end. But it's a telling you to do something kind of sentence. And if it's telling you to do something, then it's a command. I'm commanding you, put your pencils away. But I can still put a period at the end of it, okay? It doesn't have to, I'm not showing a lot of excitement if I say put your pencils away. There's not a lot of excitement there. All right. And last but not least, let's review some multiple meaning words. I have 3 multiple meaning words up here. Let's talk about what 2 meanings are, or maybe more than 2 meanings are for each word. My first word is duck. Duck is a multiple meaning word. It can mean more than one thing. What is one meaning for the word duck? Gwen, what's one meaning for the word duck?
Like the animal duck that lives in the pond.
Yeah, like the bird that lives in the pond with wings, that lives in the water. What's another meaning for the word duck, Tim?
Like when you crouch down, they say like duck.
Yeah, when you move your body down, they say like duck, you know, like this.
Or duck, duck.
Or duck, duck, goose. When in the duck, duck, goose game, though, I think it's actually probably talking about the tapping of the head, but I think of it as being the animal, okay? So when you kind of like move your head down or your body down to get out of the way of something that's flying over you, you duck. Or it could be the animal that goes quack, quack, quack. Press. Press is another multiple meaning word. This is a tricky one. Press is a multiple meaning word. Alina, what's one word for press?
Like you pressing a button.
When you're pressing a button, what are you doing? Okay, I'll come back to you. Jose, what's one meaning for the word press?
It's like impress.
Oh, you're thinking of the word impressed. That's a different word. I'm thinking of just the word press. What's one meaning for the word press? Tim, do you want to give it a try?
Pressing my buttons.
Okay, if you're pressing them, what are you doing?
You're pressing something.
But what does that mean if you're pressing them, though?
Like you're getting mad or something.
You might be getting mad, but you don't have to be getting mad to press it. Lonnie, what do you think?
Press means that you put tilt in the tilter, then you press the like then you press the handle down and then you wait for it to pop up.
You're pushing it down, right? If you're pressing on a button, you're pushing it down, okay? Maybe waiting for it to pop back up, or maybe it just stays down. So press can mean to push something down, like to kind of make it go all the way down. Press can also mean something else. Any guesses? Like, let me use it in a sentence. This is a tricky one. My dad likes to use an iron to press his shirts. What does that mean if he uses an iron to press his shirts? Zayden.
He's pushing it down and that's making all the wrinkles go away.
Trying to make the wrinkles get out, right? Yeah, he's using the iron to make the wrinkles come out. Very good. So press can be to push something down, or it can mean to get the wrinkles out of something. And the word light is also a multiple meaning word. Derek, what's one meaning for the word light? Yeah, so what are the lights in the room? What do they do for us? Yeah, they help us make the room bright so we can see better, right? So like what we have in the big boxes up above our heads, the bulbs, those are lights. They make everything bright so that we can see better, or the sun will do that when it comes out. What's another meaning for the word light? Jamie?
Like you're hitting an animal light.
You could press an animal or pat an animal lightly. So if you're patting it lightly, what's another word for that? What's that meaning if you're patting or petting an animal lightly? How are you doing it if you're going like this? The word that I'm looking for is gentle. You can pat an animal lightly or pat it gently. Be gentle when you pat it. But there's another word that I'm thinking of for light that we probably use more often. If something is light, it means that it is not what, Valerie? Not heavy, right? So light usually means not heavy, or a bright thing that is above our heads that lights up a room or lights up the sky. Or it can mean to do something not hard, to do something gentle-like, okay? All right, fantastic. Now, before I send you all on your merry way, I want to show you what we're doing for our seesaw activities today. Let me close this out real quick. No, I don't want to save this. No, I don't want to save that. No, I don't want to save that. But I do want to